Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the USR, and yes, I've still got the COVID. Omicron, Decepticons Unite, or whatever. It really makes me think of Decepticons. And I was not a Transformer child, man. That was after my time, but still, I saw those cartoons enough. So, why do I have the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum Facebook page up on my screen? Well, because TSR Con on January 1st put up they were selling tickets to TSR Con. And I figured, hey, well, let's take a look at this. And let's take a look at they actually have, and I will give credit where credit is due. I'll say I don't. The majority of their sponsors are not TSR or the Dungeon Hobby Shop or OSR Games. There's one that I'm not quite sure what the hell it is, but I probably missed that one. But OSR Games, by the way, is owned by Jason, so that's just TSR Games. That's just Dungeon Hobby Shop. But there are some new ones. But so it's the same flyer, but adjusted. And what do I mean by adjusted? Well, because now they've added in. Here I'll embiggen it for you, because I know folks are just they don't want to be deprived or depraved. So here we go. So now it's 4 days long. Remember, it was going to be a day initially, right? Well, it's 4 days, mind you. No hotel attached to it, and if you're not already going to GaryCon, you're not going to find a hotel. That's just, I mean, sorry, but that's just the reality. But I don't think that makes a difference, because really, nobody's flying out to TSR Con to go to TSR Con. They're going to go to TSR Con as an extension of going to GaryCon. So, seminars. I don't think there's any seminars listed on the site yet. But in any case, dealers. Okay. More miniatures, more tournaments, more fantasy RPGs, more board games. More, and more. Celebrity guests. Definitely. You got Ernie, you got Duck, you got Justin, Wenger, Dave Johnson. I mean, some of these names are not as big as others, but you have them. It's still the nation's primordial game convention, and you notice that all these logos are just shoved in there. So, since these logos were shoved in there, I figured we should probably take a look at some of these logos. So, first one we probably know is Wizard Tower Games. Now, you probably know Wizard Tower Games because they had the anonymous letter from the I can't even rhyme with the word because it'll get this thing monetized. But real jackasses. Okay, so now what does Wizard Tower Games produce? Our games. Open World RPG, which apparently is endless adventure compatible with all systems. With the Open World RPG, you can use D&D, Pathfinder, GURPS, or any other system to play with it. Contact us for more info. So I guess that kind of means it's not released yet. Okay. Bloody Seas. Board game. All right. Pirate looting ships. Protect merchants or become a pirate looting ships. That sounds like it could be fun. Contact us for more info. I guess it's not published yet. Gaslight. Now, that might be an issue, right? With Cthulhu by Gaslight. I don't know if especially since it's a board game, play the inspector hunting for a killer, or play the killer. Maybe not. Although Chaosium did file a trademark infringement against a member of our community for their DCC powered game that had a title that was vaguely like one of their prior releases. But in any case, you will either play the culprit or the authorities. The aim is simple. Either make it out of London or catch the culprit before they do. Contact us for more info. I guess it's not for sale either. Deck of products. Well, the Rot Hole Dungeon, 36 cards. Deck of descriptions. All of our deck of products are designed to help the DM and PC have a more fun and visceral game experience. All right, cool. They'll help the game become more fun, more engaging, and fast, and no more mired down games hunting for info, etc. All right, man, I want to buy, but I can't. Contact us for more info. All right, so Wizard Tower Games has products that are not for sale. Well, I guess if the role model is TSR 3, we know why. All right, but now we will move on. And they aren't all like this. I'm pleasantly surprised. And I really did mean that. This one blows my mind because this looks cool. This looks cool as shit, and I'm sorry I missed the Kickstarter. Anchor, The Kingdom of the Gods. This is from Chris Miller Games, and Chris Miller Games is the one that looks like the octopus on the lower right-hand side. Kingdoms of the Gods. Anchor is a science fantasy tabletop role-playing game based on Sumerian mythology and the ancient astronaut theory. So, oh God, what's that damn movie that became a never-ending TV series? My son loved it. I can picture the characters. This seems like all you need to have is like NASA involved in this, and you've got a great way to build something else. But that's cool. That's a cool setting. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's not your traditional medieval. It's not your traditional science fiction. All right. Angkor, Land of the First People, is a game supplement for the tabletop role-playing game Angkor. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. The book details the continent of Mundwazi, Africa. The book introduces new professions and playable species to help make characters from this setting more unique. Wow. Holy shit. That actually seems really, really cool. Digital copies. Now, these are for sale. Digital copies are $14.99 for either. Soft cover is $40, hardcover is $50. Available on drive-thru, and I might have to use some of my drive-thru affiliate monies to at least buy the core rules because it looks really cool. And again, somebody's going to go right in the comments and go, I know exactly what you're talking about, Tenkar. How could you not remember whatever the fuck it's called? I'm sorry, man. It's called brain fog. It's given free with you on the Cron. That looks cool. That's Mad Scribe Games, actually. But it also comes up as Chris Miller Games when you go here. Okay. So, who else? Well, Dave Johnson Games. Dave Johnson has Alarms and Journeys. Alarms and Journeys is a zine. I'm not sure if there's a physical copy for it. As far as I can tell, it's only digital on drive-thru. And hey, he's got Mo Rasmussen contributing. That's actually pretty cool. He's got stuff for Top Secret New World Order and AD&D, Osric. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of fun to be had here. Now, the earlier issues looked like they were smaller. This is 96 pages. It's $12, but that's cool. So these are legitimate things. All right. So now there's something or some group or individual or individuals called Bards of Greyhawk. So apparently this is a musician or musicians that I guess if I was younger, maybe I'd appreciate the music. I mean, I give them credit, but they've got 276 subscribers. Maybe they deserve more. I'm not a subscriber. Maybe I gotta listen to more of the tracks. The tracks just didn't do it to me. I mean, was I a metal fan? I still listen to some metal. I Iron Maiden is still where my heart lies, but this is a bit more on the, I guess, maybe the thrash side. But they're a supporter. They're a sponsor. So I mean, there are legit sponsors. I'm not gonna say that it's just a bunch of illegitimate sponsors here for TSR Con. No, they've got legitimate sponsors, and I'm happy to see that. Now let's close that out and let's go Oh, maybe should we go to? Maybe it's easier just to go through the current schedule here. All right. Yeah, I think that's a bit easier. So you can probably see it on your screen. So the current schedule of events. Day one, Duck Leeson, AD&D 8-hour session, ages 13 plus, 10 players, $100 a head. Now, by the way, before you go, holy fuck, it's $100 a head. It's only $5 a day for admission. Okay. Now, is Jeff Leeson worth $1,000 to have a group series table? I don't know. And before I even go any further, I have a big question, and maybe the official news network of TSR will answer this question for us. If Jeff and Ernie and a few others are getting $100 a head, but people show up at the table, Justin's getting 50. Well, maybe he's an awesome DM. But what share goes to the venue? What share goes to the DM? Because that's $1,000, right? If they fill the table, it's $1,000. Even if half went to the DM, right? If Duck makes $500 running the session, then the other half goes toward the venue. They're still getting $500. I think that would be a win-win. You know. So Ernie's running the Hobby Shop Dungeon, circa 1978. From I don't even know about the times. So that's 10 players and $100 a pop. Justin's running a 4-hour session of those pesky goblins, $50 a pop. There's a dungeon crawl board game session. It's a 4-hour long session. By the way, so far all these things say 13 years and above. Dungeon crawl board game is 5 players. Day 2, March 25th, Friday. Ernie is running the Memorial Tomb. Again, 10 players, $100 a head. Wenger Santanis, V, is running Assault on Elysium on Friday. 6 players, $50 a head. Now, V is only running for 6, not for 10, so it's a $300 table. Is he making at least 150 or 100? He's got to be making something, right? Dave Johnson. Now, Dave Johnson, I believe it's the same Dave Johnson that's behind Alarms and Journeys. So Dave is running Star Frontier's new Genesis. So I guess he'll have a copy at the table. So for those of you who are looking to see what the new Star Frontiers game will be, that will be your opportunity. However, it's $100 a person, 10 players. It's $1,000 game session. I haven't even figured out the math for this yet. I probably should have done it beforehand. Dungeon Crawl Classics game, again, another 4-hour session, $10 a head. Day 3, Ernie's running another Dungeon Hobby Shop dungeon. Same amount, $1,000 table. Venger is running, I'm going to fuck this up, V. I am so sorry. Kremza Amirax, whatever the fuck. It's another $300 session. Mystery event. Now, this one blows my mind, okay? 8 players, 4 hours, $50 a head, and you have no idea what the fuck it is or who the fuck is running it. Personally, for me, I don't have $50 in my pocket to just piss away on some random event, but you never know. Dungeon Crawl board game, again, at $10 a head. Starfleet Battles, $10 a head. Now, Sunday, V is back with the Black Pyramid of Chalt. Again, $50 a head. And the Dungeon Crawl board game. So there's not much going on yet on Sunday. We don't have Ernie and we don't have Duck. Although Ernie is running, I believe, 3 sessions. So yeah. So now, like I said, were I professional, not in Mr. Brain Fog, I probably would have done some of this math ahead of time. But between Ernie and Duck, you're talking potentially, without giving a cut to the DM, if everything went wherever, between Ernie and Duck, their 4 sessions is 4,000. Dave Johnson, 5,000. Okay. V has, how many sessions does V have? I believe V has 3 sessions. So So what are we at now? We're at 5,900. Okay, the special, nobody knows who the fuck it is. 6,400. I'm not gonna worry about the board games and stuff like that. Okay, that's just low hanging fruit. So 64, 6,500. Again, what share goes to the DMs? What share goes to the Dungeon Hobby Shop? There's got to be a split going on there somewhere. And if it's a small split, if Ernie's getting $10 a head for his 8-hour session, that's way too small. But I'll be interested. I'll be interested in getting play reports. Now I'm not going to GaryCon this year because the Black Death is hanging above us, or Black Death Light with Omicron or whatever the fuck. But I would be very interested in hearing play reports from folks. I would assume Ernie is a solid DM. I would assume the same with Duck. I'd be interested to hear about Justin. Yes, Justin, I'm going to probably have a spy at your table. Oh, God, you didn't know that. I'd love to hear what Star Frontiers actually is about, opposed to just knowing it's based upon the D20 Sci-Fi OGL. I'd like to see a bit more. So it's going to be interesting. But what I'd like to see, okay, is I'd like to see Mad Scribe Games run some of these, run this setting there. That would be spot on awesome. I think that would be Stargate. Now we go. There we go. The brain fog clears after like 10 minutes. This is almost like Stargate without the Stargate, and I think that is spot on awesome. So I really wish Chris Miller Games, or Mad Scribe Games, whatever he wants to go under, I wish him a lot of luck. I really do. I wish he could run that at the con. I would love to get play reports on this, and that would be spot on. So, folks, that's the brief coverage. Look at that. I think it was fairly even-handed. Must be the brain fog. So, folks, again, no secret. I am in the midst of the world of COVID. All right. It ain't fun, but I've been through worse. I've had pneumonia twice in my life. That was certainly worse. I've had worse flus. Might even had a worse cold. But it's just lingering, and this never ends. And the brain fog and the lethargy sucks. I am not telling you, however, go out and get a vaccine. You must get vaxxed. And I'm not saying don't get a vax, man. It's going bad for you. I'm saying make an educated decision after talking with your medical professionals and that know your history and medical history, and be guided by such. Ignore the talking heads, whether on TV and on the internet, wherever the fuck they are. Get professional advice from medical professionals that know you and trust you, and you trust. Okay? Be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you in this new year of ours. Roll those dice, roll them well. And I should be back again, God willing, tomorrow. And we'll see what that brings. All right, folks. On that note, laters.